You're not leaving. They're keeping you here. You detained. They trying to charge you for a murder. You only 12 years old, Ronnie. Now you getting ready to take your whole life away for some dumb shit.
12-year-old boy Sharron Townsend sits alongside his angry mother as she just realized her son savagely executed a sleeping homeless man, Thomas Zona Trent, with a bullet to his brain.
I can promise y'all to this god-awful day, it would take me about 15 minutes to load that thing up, and you would be embarrassed right now.
No one had imagined the tragedy awaiting 54-year-old Thomas Zona Trent on June 28, 2014. Being a homeless man, Thomas was sleeping outside in a vacant parking lot on 103rd Street in Jacksonville, Florida. Despite being unprovoked, 12-year-old Sharron approached him and shot him once in the head with a .22 caliber at 2:25 a.m. Authorities discovered his body at 7:20 a.m. the same day. Further investigation revealed surveillance footage where Sharron was seen approaching this man with his 16-year-old associate, Darryl Royal. And prior to the murder, Darryl and Sharron were seen arguing with another homeless man who went by the nickname Wolverine. Although Darryl played a major role in Thomas's death, his confessions implicated Sharron as the prime suspect. Knowing this, the police booked Sharron for questioning on July 30th, 2014. And what unraveled next would indicate that there's more to these boys than meets the eye.
There's a shopping center up there on 103rd where sometimes the homeless guys hang out. You ever run across some of them?
They ain't there.
You ever run across homeless guys anywhere?
Well, sometimes at the front near Safari store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you know what they go by? Any of their names? Because Darryl knew the guy named Wolverine. They called him Wolf.
Wolverine, the tall one. Yeah,
right. The tall one, yeah. And that's who I'm asking you. So you know Wolf. Did you know any of the other guys? Did you know Wolf had a brother?
No.
Yeah, he has a brother. Did you know any of the other homeless guys that hung out around that shopping
Wolverine,
center?
I knew him because he always used to walk through the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, did he? You know what panhandling is? Where they beg for money? Did he always do that?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But usually he'll be out cutting yards or doing something.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Right. Okay. Well, how about any of the other homeless people? Do you ever run into any of them anywhere along 103rd or in that shopping center by Safari or over by Subway?
Like
the liquor store?
Yeah, the pool hall.
The pool hall? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which ones do you run into over there? Do you know any of them, what they look like or by name?
It was the black guy that always wearing the red shirt and the hat.
Okay. And then you know Wolf.
Yeah, Wolverine and this fat guy.
Okay. Okay. How about, you know on 103rd where there was an old abandoned Pizza Hut and then an abandoned hamburger place? It was either Rally's or Checkers. You know where I'm talking about? Beside the Chic? It goes,
yeah, where the barbershop at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's McDonald's, then Chic, then the old Pizza Hut, then the old Checker Rally's, and then the back of that, it's a seafood restaurant, and then there's a tattoo place, a tattoo parlor. They call it Nerds Inc. Yeah. That whole plaza, front and back, between there through 103rd, they all have video. They all have very good video. So, I want to know now if this is making any sense to you as to why I'm asking you some of these questions. And
they said a man was over there.
Yeah, what man?
A homeless guy.
A homeless guy? What, have you ever seen the homeless guy over there?
Well, at the end of the year, one time.
Yeah, where was he?
At the tuna. He was sitting on the ground near the tuna thing across McDonald's in the mechanic shop, and everybody was walking from Forest.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody say anything to him, or just left him alone?
No, everybody was people was going across the street. People was walking his way.
Do you know where a wolf lays his head at night, where he sleeps? No.
Usually they all be in that box right there. Like, what store that is right there? It's just no.
Is it the old Pizza Hut by the Chic?
Yeah, near a breakfast store.
Yeah, the Chic.
Yeah,
yeah.
A little box right there.
There's a shed, otherwise known as a shed, a box, a shed, same thing. All right. Did you ever see anybody homeless sleeping at that abandoned hamburger place, the Rallies or the
No, they always used to be
What?
either on the side where all the bricks at, or in that little box.
Okay. Did you ever see an older man kind of, sometimes he'd have a walker, white man, older than, smaller and older than Wolf. Wolf's kind of a tall guy. He gets around pretty good. You ever see the guy they call Thomas? Older guy? Stringy hair. He's kind of sickly. You know, he got a lot of sicknesses, so he...
I know the black guy named Tommy, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be something like that. Thomas. No, I gotta probably see him first.
Okay.
I know a lot.
See that shirt? See that shirt? Who's this?
Me,
Who is this?
Daryl.
Okay. Do you know when this was taken?
When I was walking to McDonald's.
You think so? It's not walking to McDonald's. What time do you think you're walking to McDonald's at this little incident right here?
Around 10 or 11.
PM? Clock at night?
Yeah.
10, 11? Okay, let me show you something else. Should have read me what that says.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
225.
Right. That's you and Daryl. And this is not near the McDonald's.
Yeah, that's right near the going towards the subway right there.
It is. See that? See what this is? This is 2:25 in the morning on Saturday. The date you can't see is 06/28/2014. And when was that? That was right before your mom reported you missing. You know what I mean? She reported you missing like the 1st of the month, July 1st.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's you and Daryl walking down the sidewalk. See that? Same thing. 2:25 in the morning. See that?
The detective doesn't apply immediate pressure. Instead, she methodically lays down the incriminating pieces of evidence, reconstructing his movements before the homicide. This is when a central figure reemerges, Daryl Royal, an accomplice a few years his senior. Daryl was there when the brutality happened, and his involvement makes him equally accountable for the bloodshed. Furthermore, the detective brings up another man in this situation, Wolverine. Investigative reports reveal that he is a homeless man frequently circling the shopping centers and the vicinity of 103rd Street. Wolverine, who predominantly does yard work to make a living, ran into a drug-related dispute with Sharron and Daryl. This dispute soon became the precursor to Thomas's murder. Reports detail Wolverine enraged Daryl by not repaying what was owed, inciting a homicidal frenzy. Wolverine is also closely associated with the homeless community where Thomas was murdered. Seeing Sharron not admitting his guilt, the detective is about to pressure him to give more details about the gun.
See, I've already heard these stories. I already knew about this knife. I know about it because I know what I've been told, and I know what I can prove, and I know what I've seen on video. Okay?
If we shot him, where they done it?
Well, just because you shot him and I haven't showed you a picture of that specific gun, how do you know?
I'm just saying, he shot him, so where they done it?
What did I ask you? I needed two things. I needed to know from your mouth, are you going to say Daryl shot or are you going to say you shot? I need to know which one you're going to say. And then secondly, I need to know what you're going to say happened to the gun. And you may not know. Hell, you got your butt taken out of there. Your mom came and got you. Daryl's mom did not come and get him. I know Daryl's sister was kind of hanging out in West Chase, and you know, he's kind of out there doing what he wants to do. Your mom didn't let that fly. Your mom came and got your behind. So you may not even know. I don't know. I'm not gonna gloss over and make a story up to you. I said I wanted to know out of your mouth what happened to that gun. If you took it and threw it in the river, well then that's what you tell me. If you say Daryl took it, and after that, have you seen Daryl since then? Since this?
No.
Okay, so if Daryl had it, you may not even know what he did with it. That could be the truth. I don't know.
After this, they said, I went back over there. They said Daryl got locked up again for something else.
Daryl got locked up around the 10th of the month for a robbery.
Good. Well, they said he got a grand theft charge for carjack jumping, and he crashed.
Yeah.
Then after they said he crashed, I'm like, where? So I rode the bike up the way they said in the Walmart in the middle of the street. So I rode up there, wasn't nothing up there. They was like, oh no, that was somebody else, such and such. Then when a couple of days later I went back, they said he got caught with a deadly weapon, something like that.
Well, whatever they said, it doesn't matter. It's what I can show on paper and what I can prove. And the case that he's involved in is a robbery, and it is involving a car. He did leave in the man's car, and he was caught by the police and bit by a dog. Okay? Yeah. So here's the thing. Don't you think he's very motivated to point the finger at you? I would be. If she and I did something wrong, and I didn't want to get in trouble, it's just common nature. I'm going to blame her. Okay? In the same way, she'd probably blame me. It's what people do. I got kids. She's got kids. That's what kids do. That's what kids do. You know? But here's the thing. There's more that I know that I keep telling you. I can't tell you everything I know. Because if I did, then you'd know it and you'd say it, and then you'd say, the only reason I told you is because you told me. I told you all that because you told me. I can't do that. I can't do it. I got to get to the truth a certain way. Okay? Let's go back to this knife thing. How did you get this knife away from this man?
He was laying on the ground. I went up to go get it from the side right there.
Okay. Where was he keeping it at?
Near this plastic bag.
Okay. What kind of plastic bag?
A plastic bag, a regular.
I know, but I mean, is it like a plastic bag, like a grocery bag? Is it like a bag that you put trash in? Is it like a plastic bag that you carry groceries?
Like a store bag.
Store bag, okay. So it wasn't on him. So you came up and got it from the bag, right? Okay. But he wasn't threatening you at that point with it, right?
Mm-hmm. No, after that, when we were actually, like, when we walked past, she was on the ground.
Yeah. Okay, well, you're leaving out the part about, you know, here's I want you to think about this a second. You tell me that Daryl's got a gun. You tell me that y'all have walked past him. You've seen him. And then you know what else you tell me? I don't know how he got shot. Because you do. And you know what? You know how somebody told you, yeah, I'm not believing that about the whole, you know, knife thing? I'm going to tell you the same thing. If you want to see these people ever in your life, you do not want somebody to point the finger at you and put that gun in your hand. Because you just clearly told me Daryl had that gun. People are not going to just sit back and do nothing about what happens to them. The same way I would expect you to not do that as well. You know, again, your family seems to care about you enough because they're here with you. First and foremost, they came with you. You think Daryl's mom's down here? She's not. She's not. And I can't tell you how many times enough that I know that one of you two shot that man. Now, if you want me to believe it's you, then you keep sitting there acting like it isn't.
What'd you tell her?
We was on the phone. She never.
What'd you tell her?
She never even asked about nothing.
That's not true.
What'd you tell her?
She didn't ask about nothing.
What'd you tell her? I didn't ask you what she asked. I said, what did you tell her about what happened?
She was like, she said, well, we was on the phone first. Then her dad called. Then she said, who that? Then I guess she put it on the three-way. Cause I could hear him talking too, so talking about such and such. That boy was on the news, such and such. Then I'm on talking. What? Then he was like, the detective's coming to our house to come talk to you. Then after that, they kept talking, so I just set the phone down, put it on speaker, till she hung up. She was like, my dad, I was like, I heard it already. She was like, well, I told her don't tell them my name.
Right, tell the police your name, right?
I said, don't
But see,
tell them my
here's
name,
the
so.
thing. I already knew your name. Because people at Indian Lakes gave me your name already. Because they saw the video as well. Everyone saw this video. And guess what? Everyone said it was you. So I already had your name. She didn't have to give me your name. Do you think we've talked to her?
No, you probably did.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you think she told us that you said?
I don't care what she said.
Well, what did you tell her?
She pressured you to find out what you did. And you told her about the knife. The story about the knife. Right or wrong?
My mom knew about the knife too. No, my little brother, he was the one. After I set it down, he picked it up. So I wasn't worrying about it. Then he started playing with it, so I took it from him. I washed it off. Then I put dish detergent on it, washed it off, wrapped it up with the tape and napkin, and dropped it in the sewer.
Okay.
Where at?
In front of my house. Asked my little brother, he was right there when I came outside and I dropped it in the sewer.
Okay, I'm going to go back. No rats chased you out of the... You didn't run because of the rats. You know why? If you... And let me tell you something. If I got to go and make you a believer, it's going to be me feeling like maybe you are a cold-blooded killer. You see what's on his head?
Yes, sure.
Right. Ain't nobody needs to run from rats with their shirt on their head. It just doesn't happen. You got a shirt, he's got a shirt on his head, and see, here's the thing. I got your little narrow behind running in that alley too. And it ain't from rats, son. That ain't the only spot. This is the corner. This is a whole video. This video goes from 223 and a half, 224, all the way through the other end of that doggone alley up to the auto parts, the liquor store. So it's not a question that y'all ran from rats. That is a terrible story. That is terrible. That's the worst one I've ever heard.
That's not no corner right there. That's near the gates.
No, it's not.
The trash can is right here
there,
at the gates,
right.
as soon as you walk out.
And you guys ran. There was a car sitting here, and you guys ran straight down that alley. No question. You weren't running from rats. He's hiding his face for a reason. You don't take your shirt off and hide your head to run from rats. That's just not true. And if you're willing to tell me a lie about that, you've come so far. You've come far enough to understand who you think's going to believe that. No one is going to believe that. And I'll tell you why. Because I will show them conclusive video.
Although Sharron is cracking a bit amid the detective's questions, he doesn't have any remorse for the crime he has committed. On top of that, he even stole Thomas's knife without any clear motive. Additionally, he has the audacity to shift the blame on Daryl instead of taking any accountability. As per the CCTV evidence, Sharron was the only one to fire the shot. In spite of such obvious evidence, Sharron remains silent. To keep up with his absurd stories, Sharron even claims he ran from the scene with his shirt covering his face because he was supposedly scared of rats. But the detective disproves this nonsensical account using the evidence from the CCTV footage. It is at this point the detectives deploy Sharron's mother and grandmother to dismantle his delusions with a ruthless blow of truth.
Which he was. That's true. We found him right on the side of the rallies. He was a homeless man that had a little camp, a little homeless camp.
We was walking past. No, where we leaving from? We leave from the pool hall. So walking McDonald's tonight. Man, start talking crazy on that knife that I threw on the sewer. That your I was playing with. That's the one he had.
And hold on a second. He actually claims that you told him to get rid of this knife and he threw it in the sewer.
I don't even know knowledge about a knife. I don't know nothing about no damn knife.
How about you? Right. So you see where we're going already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead, baby.
He be on medication.
The black knife that I had.
I don't know.
See, you didn't tell me nothing about Grandma because you're looking at Grandma to confirm your story. You told me specifically that your brother got in
my
your
little
bag.
brother, my little brother know which knife I'm talking about. Yeah,
And-
my little brother sure do know which knife I'm talking about.
And that's
too.
fine. But you told me that Mom told you to get rid of
Yeah,
it.
she said get it out the house, and I got it out the house.
If it was, I know I ain't personally seen no damn knife. If I did, hell yeah, don't bring that in here.
Right, but
Don't bring nothing in here.
to your knowledge, you didn't tell him to get any knife out of the house.
Mm-mm.
All right,
I
so,
don't-
so go on with it. It's okay, because what he says is he ends up throwing the knife in the sewer. Where the police came and parked by your house, there's a field, I guess, grassy area,
Yeah.
and there's a sewer drain pipe thing. He showed me that it's by the house, and there's 2 little drains, and one of them he threw the knife in the drain wrapped up in a towel. Now, here's the thing. I've done stuff where you've had to find guns and knives before in the drains. They only go so far. We'll find it if it's there, and if it's not, it's not. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. So basically, there was a reason he was telling us about this knife. So does that help get you about the knife? Is that about right?
So, walking past the man who was talking, we're walking past, so he was sitting there, then he had the knife in his hand and ran up on Daryl, so I popped off on him. Then,
What you mean popped off? What,
I
punched
punched him in his face.
Oh, okay.
Then, we walked to McDonald's, but before we walked to McDonald's, the boy that I went to school with, we started arguing with them. We left McDonald's, that was like, nah, I'm ready to go back around here. So the first shot went off, then he was like, so I walked towards the trash can. Then when he shot the man in his head, we got out of there and went through the cut. Then the next morning we saw the some guy had the recording of the cops picking up the man's body. And that's like a week later, that's when we found out it was on the news.
And then what happened with Zaria?
She had something to do with it.
This how I'ma see it, bro. It's like, let me see.
Let me tell you how I explained it to
It's
you.
like
What, Zaria knew what?
You told Zaria what?
She asked about it, but how can I say?
What? You ain't even saying nothing.
I don't hear nothing either.
Well, I
What
could,
is you trying to say? I could put it in words. What? What happened? What she got to do with it?
she doesn't have anything to do with it, actually. You want me to help you?
If you want to.
All right.
See.
And you tell me if I said it right. So basically, Zaria sees it on the news too, and she recognizes both of them. So there's a discussion about what did you do. He explained to her about the situation with this man and a knife. He says he shot at the man once and missed the man, and then Daryl shot at the man once also. Now see how he told you how he popped off? Did you not tell me that you fired a shot at that man? You were the first one to fire a shot? Yeah. And he said it was because the man took 2 steps and lunged real fast at Daryl. But he says, Daryl
said come back around, and when we left there,
Daryl
shot
said-
the man in his head and we left.
Okay.
It's ironic how Sharron's statements magically change the moment he sees his mother and grandmother. There is no doubt that Sharron's gangster mindset has no fear of consequences for giving inconsistent information to the detectives. This is when the investigator is about to disclose something that will shatter Sharron's web of lies.
He also told me that, and this is how this diagram comes in, the man was here. He says he's over here when he hears that second shot. He had just walked
To the trash can. You know, the
To the
trash
trash
cans and
cans.
the gate's not that far from each other.
Right. He walked across to the trash cans. And he's in this area. That's why I put the little asterisks. And he hears the second shot, the one he didn't fire, and he takes off running in the alley. Problem with that is the video that shoots from the tattoo wall has them running both in this direction all the way across the parking lot. One at a, together, but you know, one and then right after that another. No one walks over here and stands. Okay?
I was near the trash can the whole time, bro.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you that we have a video on that's, I'll show you the angles. They walk down this sidewalk. You gotta kind of step down here. There's a little bit of mailboxes right here. They're kind of for the businesses. They're metal,
I know.
you know, pigeonhole type.
I know what you're talking
You
about.
gotta walk down this little area and then you go this way. Okay? On this wall right here, the tattoo shop, the dental shop, all the other places, they have videos pointing this way. Videos pointing this way. The tattoo shop has one pointing this way, that way, this way, and in the alley. So all the directions in the side here are covered. So this area here is very visible to seeing people. And to be quite...
The barbershop got one on the side right there too.
Well, and like I said, like I told your family, I'm only telling you a small amount for a reason. Because when people go to telling a story, it has to match up to the evidence that you have. And if it doesn't, then there's still a hole in the story. Where he's standing when that second shot happens or where he isn't standing is not something to argue. I mean, it's dumb. It's not worth lying about. If you're going to lie about something, lie about it to save yourself.
Hell yeah.
Okay? But being over here where I can prove he wasn't, like he says, that's a problem. And you guys understand, we're trying to figure out who did what when. All right? He openly admits. Tell them how you got the gun to begin with.
Where you get a gun from?
I got it from Dale. Well,
Follower. Ronnie, you don't know you 12 and you following these boys. You don't even know them. Know of them. Know nothing about them. You don't even know where they live at.
What do you think, Grandma?
I know I wouldn't be in this predicament.
At all, because I done told them now. I'm not going to jail for nobody.
Did I show you the time of this?
Yeah, 2:25
And this is 2:33.
You supposed to been home anyway.
That's when we reported. I reported him missing.
Right. You reported him. Y'all reported him missing. Yes, ma'am.
And then she called
Yes, ma'am.
back because John was like, they ain't gonna go by what, but they listened to me and they came, and we both put out a report.
Yeah, y'all definitely, he was definitely not with y'all on this incident, okay? No one is disputing that this is them. No one is disputing that these two are at the scene of this man being killed. And make no mistake, I hate seeing anybody's life go down the tubes, okay? But I also have an obligation to the man's family. And I have to do right by them. And doing right by them is making all of you understand this little part here, it's not going to go. Initially, he told me that the reason he ran down the alley is the rats back here. The rats were out there, and he made him run. But they had their shirts tied around their head to run. So, if you look at this real close, now that's one of them and not the second. When they walk down,
That boy, they ain't you.
I was already through the cuts.
when they walk down the sidewalk, you see they have shirts on. Now this is one of them. You're right. And when I went to print out the second one, it printed out two of these. So I have a picture of him running down the alley as well. Okay, and there's no good reason for all of a sudden you to have to put the shirt around your head
Exactly.
and run down the alley. So the bottom line is, to say that you were standing back here when that second shot happened.
But it wasn't even far from me. It was right there. Like,
okay, whether it was far from you or not, I'm not saying that this is a long distance or a short distance. I'm not saying it's any distance. What I'm saying is you clearly didn't just walk over here and stand by the dumpster and then you heard a shot and then
I
you
was
took off
already
running.
right there.
I'm going to tell you both. He ran from this area back here, not the exact corner of Rowley's, but more over here. He took off the both of them. It's about 6 minutes difference. They walk down the sidewalk toward the rallies, and in 6 minutes, they're running in the back alley.
Sharron is too arrogant to mention from whom he took the gun, and to make things worse, the police couldn't even recover the gun, so tracing it to its owner couldn't be deemed plausible. For a young teen, Sharron is definitely an expert in covering his tracks, but this expertise won't last long under the crushing pressure of incriminating evidence. Now, attempting to strengthen his defense, Sharron's story is about to take a bizarre turn.
Neither one of them dispute that's them, walking this way or going that way. 6 minutes, at the most 8. And I say 6 to 8 because, like my watch, I don't have a digital watch.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
What made y'all talk to her?
Nobody made us talk to her. There was basically some information that was gained that while you were looking for him, the father was wondering, hey, why is this going on? He didn't even know why anybody would be calling his phone. So it made him feel suspicious. He saw the video, and we'll just take it from there. I mean, I'd like to tell you everything about how that went, but the other thing I don't want to do is if he were to tell me about something about Daryl, I'm not going to run over there and say, hey, by the way, he just told us everything you said. Do they both know they're pointing the finger at each other? Absolutely. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to keep a promise with one person and not with another. There are certain details to keep someone.
Your whole life is. Yeah.
And here's where I left.
Right.
Here's where I left. I asked him.
And being as though you was at the scene, you
Yeah.
did it.
Well,
if you missed, you should have shot him because that's what you're getting ready to get charged with.
And here's where I was at.
Murder.
Here's where I was
You
at.
can right through town, boy.
Here's where I was at, ladies. This is where I left off, and maybe we can clarify this from here. I asked Sharron if he fired once, and I said, well, how did Daryl get the gun? Well, I gave it to him so he could fire once. Okay, I know and you know, that's a red flag. All right, so if that's the case, and he fired the second time, let's put that aside. The time you fired, what gave you the right to fire at someone that's lunging at someone
Else.
that's plenty big enough, because we established that Daryl could have, this is a 50-plus-year-old man.
Self.
He's a homeless man, and let me help you. He had gotten out of the hospital 2 days before this. He has all sorts of problems, and he walks with a walker.
Okay. Every time I see him, he never walking with no walker.
And you know what else he is?
To be honest, I really
He's
don't
a
care
chronic
anymore, bro.
alcoholic. He's a chronic alcoholic that doesn't. He is a
Racist.
He is. I've heard
That man,
that.
every time you can ask him, you ask Wolverine, you can ask the other basic. Every time you see him, he never went while he walking straight. So,
yeah, but again,
man.
let me ask you this. To clarify to me, what do you think your reason for being able to shoot at him when he was, as you put it, lunging at Daryl? What was your justification for doing that?
And then down older than you. Why is you?
Hold on. It was what?
A warning shot. You like?
It was a warning shot. Okay. How do you know the one you shot didn't shoot the man?
Because he was still up.
According to you, the same person that says back here, you walked and you didn't.
Well, I saw with my own eyes. When Daryl shot him, he
But
shot.
you were back here. You can't see up here. It's a building. You can't see through the building.
It's really not. You got that whole side right there because the back of the Chinese store is right there and the trash can is right there.
Again, what gives you the
How
right?
y'all gonna tell me? But I be on the third more than.
Okay, well,
See, this is what
I
you
know,
said.
but see, here's the thing. What Smart Mouth doesn't understand is I have a lot of scene photographs, and if I took a whole bunch of people back there to say, okay, I didn't make the asterisk, he made the asterisk, he said he walked back here. First of all, let me show you this video of him running, okay? And then let me show you how he says he can see through this because the man
It's not
is
no
dead.
wall right
Okay,
there.
this is a whole building.
The man was you said the man was on right there. The man was in the street.
What street?
The man was laying in the street.
What street?
Near the Checkers. The man was in the street.
And the street is like 103rd Street?
No, not the street. Like a parking lot. Like you pulling up and trying to order, and he was in the street.
Even worse. He's right. He's more like up here. He'd have to have Superman vision to be able to look through this whole building and see that that was how it happened. Now, am I saying that he's the one? Because let's just think about it. All right, they both
I was
admit-
all the way up there in the pole. The trash cans is right here.
Mhm.
The pole is on the side going all the way down like this. The man sleep on the side right there. His body was laying right there. So how tell me how is that all the way up there? You can't see that.
I can promise you, you cannot see.
Well, you
through
bring
that.
your whole set of team and tell them lining up the same way
I
I'm
will
showing
be.
you right now.
And you steady getting smart though, like
They
I will be.
right smoking.
yes, and you making it even worse. She trying to break you a deal with something.
I was.
But I'm showing it. She's saying it like I'm.
And I'll tell you what else I'll do. I'll show them this black and white video of your narrow behind running through that area, and there's no walking, there's no stopping. It is
Right.
y'all are running.
As per the detective, Thomas was a frail wreck, freshly released from the hospital with his body too ravaged by an infection. Furthermore, Sharron didn't attack alone. He was backed by Daryl, the teenage predator circling the wounded prey. This was reinforced by Wolverine's testimony, who observed months of confrontation between Thomas and a group of boys, including Sharron. Wolverine detailed relentless harassment that ranged from bombarding Thomas with thrown objects to the sickening humiliation of urinating on him like worthless prey. In addition, Wolverine noted that after being freshly discharged from the hospital, Thomas's shattered body was still dependent on a walker, just hours before the shooting slaughtered him. Therefore, it is impossible for a sick, weak man to overpower any of them, especially when they had a loaded gun. All this proves that Sharron's story of self-defense holds no ground. Sharron even deflects responsibility onto Daryl, insisting he only fired the warning shot. So, to get more details about the knife and the gun, the detective is about to question him again, but this time without his family.
His gray duct tape is marked red on the side, but it's really an all-black knife. And the sewer is right where the detectives parked.
That, like, he couldn't miss it. I know he had to smell or see the water dripping because, like, his car parked right here, the sewer, like, right there.
Okay. And the water was dripping?
A little bit because I was messing with the water hose after I cut the grass.
Okay. So this is your house. What side is your front door? What would you say is your front door? Which one is your front door? If this is the little field you're talking about, where do you walk out the front door?
This the little side of my house because that's the water hose right there.
Yeah.
My door on this side and the driveway like coming all the way down to the mailbox because the mailbox on the corner.
Okay.
Then it's the grass like right on the side. It's the sewer. You can see it. Then it's the other one across the street.
Okay. Now, did your mom actually tell you to get rid of it, or you just get rid of it yourself?
No, she didn't say that. She said, get it out the house. So that's the first thing I thought about, washing it off and just putting it, dropping it somewhere. Because the first time, and I was thinking about it, I threw it the first time down because like on the side of my house, in my backyard, but it's all bushes right there, like stand up. So then somebody else has next to it. When I threw, I found it again. Like I'm gonna just drop this in the sewer. But it's sitting. The far it's sitting wasn't floating because that's metal in there. It was when I looked at it, it was still sitting right there. But it probably did float away now.
All right. Now, with you doing the first pop, where'd you get the gun from?
From there towards the back.
And when is this?
We was walking to McDonald's and we was about to walk to McDonald's. Cause like every time we come here, the lady she'll tell us we can't come in and go through the drive-thru.
The McDonald's lady?
Yeah, she'll be like, go through the drive-thru.
Okay.
But last time we went, the other lady, she lived in Indian Lakes, but she knew somebody booking her house. And the boy that did it, Daryl be with him, so she was like, oh no, y'all can't do it because y'all don't got no car, such and such. So we waited at the pool hall. Was talking to Wolverine and all on, they still out there, waited until she pulled off. Went back up there, the lady let us get it. But when we was walking there, he then...
Why would he have given you the gun? What was the purpose of that?
to hold it real quick.
Okay, but did you need to hold it, or was there something bothering you?
He had like I had on jeans. He had on basketball shorts that day. He was like, I don't got nowhere to hold this at, so hold this real quick. I'm like, oh. So I just put it up.
You know, in the video, he has on khaki shorts. Plenty of pockets.
No basketball shorts he had on.
They're cargo shorts. Promise. They're cargo shorts. And it doesn't matter who had the, whether you started with it, whether he started with it. Was there ever a time that you guys walked down the road by Taco Bell to some boy named Bobby's house? During that.
I don't remember what time that was.
Did you remember walking to some kid named Bobby's house?
Yeah, OG Bobby, yeah.
OG Bobby? How old is OG Bobby?
I don't know.
Is he your age or more close to?
Like, where I met Bobby at? I met Bobby playing basketball, but I only went over his house a few times, but I didn't even talk to him like that. Do you remember going with Daryl that night down to his house to see if he was... That one time, but after we split, I don't know if Daryl went back there.
Did you go that?
There. Yeah, it was scary.
Was it that night?
Yeah, it was dark. Yeah, it was that night we went over there. It was dark. But
all right, do you remember going into the apartments by the McDonald's? The name of the road is La Ventura.
Yeah, the back of the McDonald's. We had to cut through there.
Yeah. Did you get in a fight with anybody there?
I really wasn't no fight. It was like somebody arguing, then you ready swing and somebody stopped it.
Okay.
But
was it with the kid that he called Jit? Or I know everybody goes by Jit, but
yeah, what's his name?
According to the investigative evidence, Sharron cleaned and discarded the knife in a sewer near his residence, acting on the request of his mother and stepfather. This boy acknowledges discovering a silver handgun with a brown handle near a Timothy's Landing pond, but denies gripping it during the homicide. Since Sharron never provides any lead on the gun's specific location, the weapon remains missing to this day. Moreover, that same evening, Sharron and Daryl showed up at Bobby's residence following the murder. This meetup foreshadowed Sharron's subsequent fight with his other peers. Moreover, in a desperate attempt to protect Sharron from further consequences, his mother will confront him in one last climactic reckoning.
They try to blame it all on you. I told you hang with the wrong crew. Told you. You only 12 years old, Ronnie. Now you getting ready to take your whole life away for some dumb. Now they depending everything on you. What you gonna do now? You better get the oh my goodness, boy. So now what?
Well, it's kind of a tough situation. At this point in the time, he actually asked for you to come back here. So obviously, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring you back here. I would have liked to continue trying to.
So when we leaving?
You're not leaving. They're keeping you here. You detained. They trying to charge you for a murder. You wasn't supposed to sign no paperwork. You wasn't supposed to talk without me being in here with you. You wasn't supposed to say not a word. All you had to do is say you talk to your lawyer. But you don't know. You on your medication. You don't know. You don't got no good sense right now. You can tell them anything they want to hear. Boy, you just don't know what you got yourself into. They got Zara done told on you. They got that girl out there.
What that girl?
Which one you think?
Deja?
He blamed it on you. So basically, they want you to say he was the one that did the shooter. You didn't put yourself at the scene already, so you got something to do with it. You wasn't supposed to say not a word. You wasn't supposed to sign no paper. Did you read that paper? You ain't understanding what it said, did you? You know you getting ready to have to go to jail. They probably charge you as an adult and you gonna have to go to the county jail. So I was just sitting here. Your dad just told me to let you know, get yourself prepared. They're gonna try to get you a lawyer.
Your phone still working?
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, but you're all no, you can't put your hands on it.
Why?
Because they told Facebook pictures.
I'm calling
dummy.
my dad.
Facebook pictures. They got you all on Facebook, dummy. On my phone in the car. I can't even call nobody.
What car?
John out there. They got witnesses.
We got no witnesses.
Who?
Oh. Who a witness?
But they got people saying, Sharron, you was there at this, you had something to do with it.
Who the witnesses is?
I don't know. I know I seen a picture of Zaria and the girl Deja out there. I guess everybody blaming everything on you. Even the boy Daryl said you did it. You shouldn't even say nothing. Now you sitting here looking all stupid. You don't know this is serious? You ready to take your whole life away for nothing. Doing something you ain't had no business doing. Ron, you only 12 years old. This is my thing. You only 12. You don't know. You don't have no friends. None of that. I'm your friend. You see, I'm the only one up here with you. I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't. All I can tell you, what? They want you to say, what you call it, had that gun and shot that guy, I guess. They got both of y'all sitting up here. Or all y'all sitting up here. They just waiting for you to just, yeah, you will be a witness, but you gonna get charged with something. Yes, you is.
So everybody up here?
Mm-hmm. Zara ain't up here right now. They got mugshot. They talked to her already. She told them what happened. Whatever you told her, she told them what happened.
She don't know what happened.
They don't know if they're going to charge you with murder, first degree, second, manslaughter. I don't know. I don't know nothing about this system. I know you wasn't supposed to talk to nobody until I came in this room with you. When these detectives was there, you wasn't supposed to say nothing. Nothing, Ronnie. Not nothing. I wasn't here. You wasn't supposed to open your mouth. Not sign no papers, nothing. Because they only showed me pictures of surveillance. They ain't got you on the back.
What else you got?
I just seen pictures.
Which ones?
They're on his Facebook page with the gun and the group of boys.
Yeah, I saw
a lot of shit off Facebook.
Saw that one. I saw the one when he had his money in the gun. I saw the mugshot. They showed you the picture when he was in the cut?
Mm-hmm.
Saw that one.
With his shirt off and wrapped around. Where you was at in the scene?
I was left already. I went there.
So what did you see? You left the boy, so what did you see? Did you see the boy shoot his? That's what they want to hear. Ronnie, I don't know what to do. I really don't.
While it's understandable for a mom to be terrified of seeing her son facing imprisonment, she seems too focused on getting a lawyer. Considering the cold-blooded nature of this homicide, Sharron's mom should have made him confess the truth from the beginning. After all, no attorney can discredit the glaring pieces of evidence against Sharron. Witnesses reported that homelessness and violence shaped Sharron's upbringing, which they contributed to his poor impulse control. So, all this leads to one uncertainty hanging over the case: whether Sharron's young age should be taken into account or if he needs to be convicted as an adult. After entering a plea deal for second-degree murder on June 27, 2016, Sharron was sentenced to 30 years in prison on March 20, 2017 at the age of 15. The judge committed him to a juvenile facility before moving him to an adult prison at the age of 18. He will be eligible for the first review of his sentence after 15 years from 2017 sentencing, and his second review will happen after 25 years in 2042. Sharron will also have post-release obligations, which include 10 years of probation, attainment of stable employment, and compulsory mental health treatment.